Luke 24 verses 13 to 27. Now that same day, 2 of the followers of Jesus were going to a village called Emmaus, which is about 7 miles from Jerusalem. And they were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you two discussing as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked Jesus, "Sorry, are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who doesn't know the things that have happened here in these days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. But then the chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped he was going to be the one to redeem Israel. And what's more, it's the 3rd day since all this took place. And in addition, some of our women have just amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but they couldn't find his body. They came and told us that they'd seen a vision of angels who'd said he was alive. Some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said. But nobody's seen Jesus." Then he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things, and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and the prophets, Jesus explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus continued on as if he was going further. But they urged him strongly, "No, stay with us, for it's nearly evening, the day's almost over." So he went in to stay with them. And when he was at the table with them, he took some bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. Then they asked each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?" Then they got up and returned at once to Jerusalem. There they found the 11 and those with them assembled together and saying, "It's true, the Lord has risen and appeared to Simon too." Then the 2 told what had happened on the way to Emmaus and how Jesus was recognized by them when he broke the bread. This is another favourite of mine. It's a wonderful story. Once again, Jesus is in disguise. They wouldn't have been expecting to see him in any case. And these 2 were followers of Jesus, but weren't part of the disciples. They were perhaps part of the 72 or more followers who were going around with Jesus by then. So Jesus unravels the scriptures and teaches them all about him, how he would die and rise again. And as he speaks, their hearts catch fire within them, much as they would have done when Jesus was teaching them before. Then he pretends he has to go on, but they insist that he stay with them. True Middle Eastern hospitality. They could have just let him go. Blimey, what a clever bloke. Anyway, what's for dinner? But something about him made them think, no, we want some more of this. I want to keep listening to the things he has to say. So he comes in with them and he breaks bread at the table. He might have shot his cuffs as he did so and revealed his wrists and his hands, which would have had scars. Think about it. And then he vanished. Oh my goodness, imagine that. Then they ran all the way back to Jerusalem to tell the other disciples, about 7 miles or 12 kilometers. They couldn't wait to share their stories and tell them the good news. Dinner could wait.